welcome to Canadian Politics is Boring.
Just getting started. This is Reese. Jesse turned up late, only by about 15 minutes. He only turned up late, about 15 minutes late for the recording. So, and now he's just walked in the studio and left the door open. Well done. This is a really good start. Now he's just left, but closed the door the wrong way, so he's no longer in the studio. And now he's come back in again, realizing his mistake. And now the door's closed. Welcome, Jesse.
Thank you, Reese. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone. God, this was a good start.
Are you excited for Wafakak?
No. Yeah, it'll be all right. Our Patreon is live.
Our Patreon is live, and please bear with us as we make sure that it's curated just the way we want it.
I just threw it together while I was I was driving.
Right. There might be a change or two in the next week or so. So if Reese promised sending out a crate full of elephant entrails, and I'm like, I don't know if we can promise that, and someone already paid for it, then let's be a little gentle.
Just go out. Let's send them some goat entrails.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a compromise. But no, it's exciting. So patreon.com/Canadian Politics is Boring.
Easy to remember.
And you can support us on a monthly basis for as little as $7 per month.
I think $7.50 is what we're going to change it to.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
Because it's that's the standard price for Patreon. It starts at $7.50.
It didn't say that, but okay.
I'm just getting greedy. I want 50 cents more. So those of you who don't know what Patreon is, it is a way to support your favorite content creators, such as us, with bonus content. So all the free content that we've been giving you every month for Canadian Politics is Boring is going to continue. Don't worry about that. If you can't afford anything or if you just whatever, that's fine. It's going to keep going. So Patreon is a way to pay a small monthly fee in order for us to create and give you even more shit. So if you're a mega fan, I want more of this shit, that's the way to do it. And if you're not a mega fan, but you're just kind of yeah, man, they're okay, the free stuff's going to keep flowing.
If you tune in, but you're not emotionally invested in our journey as podcasters,
if you're dead on the inside.
Yeah, that's fine.
Get you.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. It's totally fine.
You're still welcome to listen, but just know you'll be listening to a mild sense of begrudgingness. Is that a word?
Yep.
Begrudginality.
There you go.
Misbegrudginality.
Tell them what they can find on Patreon, Reese. Bonus episodes,
access to live streams, Q&As,
a monthly live stream just for you.
I don't know if it's going to be monthly.
We're going to do.
We'll see.
Reese, we've talked about this. We gotta. We've talked about this.
If Reese isn't busy, monthly live streams.
Come on. We got to do it 1 hour a month. That's not too much
live
to ask
streams.
for people paying us.
And also just, I think we'll probably give you access to limited edition merchandise.
Yeah.
We'll do limited runs of T-shirts, those kind of things.
If we're doing tours in the future, you'll get backstage stuff, and
yeah.
We'll add to it. Yeah.
You can use Jesse as a hand puppet.
There you go.
Loads of different things.
You know how much I like that. Jesus.
Anyway,
Christ.
should we talk enough about Patreon?
Enough about Patreon. Oh, and also Apple Podcasts will be doing through them as well. If you're an Apple subscriber, there's a tier you can pay through Apple, and it's the same thing. So, yeah, it's just. We'll send you the links. Once WFAC starts, we'll send you all the links.
We'll work it out.
So enough of us talking about paying us. Let's give you the.
So if you want to listen to all 25 episodes of the WFAC Festival, half of them will be behind the paywall. Every other episode,
half of them. You said it was every 3 days. We give out.
Sorry. So if you do want to listen to WFAC, you're going to get an episode every 3 days, unless you're a patron, where you'll get an episode every day for the full 25 days.
Yep. So last time, I got to keep you in track. Every time you say something different. So yeah, it is every 3 days.
Yeah.
So first,
I'll edit out the bit where I said that.
Yeah. Okay. That works.
Or I'll leave this in, and it might be funny.
25 days for So Wafakak is coming. I'm very excited.
Yeah. I mean, you could always just do it for Wafakak and then cancel your subscription.
Don't tell them that.
But
what are you doing? You're
a
horrible salesperson.
It's what I would do.
Reese.
I used to work, when I was 16, I had a job in an electronics store called Curry's in the UK.
Curry's?
Curry's. And they used to try and pressurize us to sell extended warranties.
Okay.
But because I was half my time in the warehouse, half my time on the sales floor, I didn't get any commission for it. So I used to go,
those fuckers.
This is the point where I'm supposed to offer you an extended warranty, but don't do it. It's covered by your house insurance. I was the worst salesperson ever. I was just same within the cinema.
Don't be a horrible salesperson for us.
Yeah, same within the cinema. I used to get told off because they were like, no, if you're making nachos, you're only supposed to give them 3 or 4 jalapeno peppers, like only half a scoop of cheese. I'd make the nachos like I'd want nachos.
Right.
Plentiful.
Yeah.
So much cheese that you
like,
can't breathe.
Sweet God, that's a lot of cheese.
It's a lot of cheese, and there's way too many peppers. He's 5 years old. He can eat it. So she took about today's episode. Actually, do you know what? If you hate your job, whatever you do for a living, you hate your job, quit your job and work in an ice cream store or on an ice cream counter, because I swear I was serving nachos and hot dogs, overpriced hot dogs and nachos. People turn up to buy overpriced hot dogs and nachos. They've already lowered their standard sweet hot dogs and nachos at the cinema, and then they're overcharged for them, and they just walk away feeling like they got a bad deal. You work on an ice cream stand.
Yep.
Everyone turns up happy and excited for ice cream. You then give them ice cream, and even though it's slightly overpriced, they don't care because they've got ice cream. I've never experienced so much human joy working at an ice cream counter. So if you lost,
you've worked at an ice cream counter.
Yeah, when I was in the cinema. So if you
there was ice cream at the cinema.
Yeah. If you've lost all faith in humanity in your job and you just want a day job that gives you happiness, just serve people ice cream. Is a very I find it a very pleasant exchange.
I think there was it might have been Hatfield Farms. I forget the name of it, in Nova Scotia here. I went with my nephews and my brother, and they served ice cream cones, but they bragged that they were serving like the largest ice cream cones imaginable, like on the planet. And so we're like, okay, well, he's just a kid, so he's just going to get a small. This is all he wanted, a small. We didn't tell him that. He asked for a small, my nephew. And they gave him this gigantic, just massive. And I'm like, okay, well, now my other nephew is like, I want a medium. So, she's like showing off at this point, the server, and she just scooped the ice cream was so big, it took him an hour to eat it, and he couldn't finish it. He had to throw the rest away.
Was it like -1 in temperature to keep it so?
It was melting everywhere, but it was huge.
And like an iceberg. It got down to St. John's before it.
But there's just picture like the biggest ice cream you've ever seen in your life. Now double that. Like, it was insane. And I knew she was doing it just to prove a point. Like, there's no way this is what she normally scooped. No fucking way. And I was so tempted just to keep going. Okay, you think a medium's big? Give me a large. Yeah. Just show me what we got.
I went to the cows on the waterfront. It was 3 times the size of that.
Right.
I saw a child's arm break.
Just for those of you Cows is an ice cream place on the Halifax waterfront. It's not, Reese isn't talking about just random bovines larger than ice cream.
You don't get ice cream directly out of a cow. Anyway, we're talking about anti-vaxxers.
Oh, yeah.
Just to go from ice cream that makes.
I thought you were going to tell me. I thought this episode was going to be about the flooding in Alberta. You told me specifically, don't look at any news, Jesse, because I'm going to teach you about it this coming Monday. I'm like, now I'm completely out of the loop on all the flooding that's happening in Alberta.
Well, look at it. Look at it as a lesson to teach you to go and now read the news.
I was going to, but you told me not to.
Well, now, do you know what? I forgot about that conversation. So anyway, you're about to learn. You're about to learn about Canada's #1 anti-vax influencer. Have you ever heard of Chris Sky?
Chris Sky or Guy?
Chris Sky.
No.
So he's a Canadian conspiracy.
Not that big of an influencer.
Well, he did have 250,000 followers on Instagram until he got kicked off the platform.
Wow.
And he's a conspiracy theorist known for being anti-mask, anti-lockdown, COVID-19 denialist, and he's involved in the anti-vax movement.
I am a little, just as a side note, I am a little bit torn about kicking people off of platforms for saying stuff you don't like them to say.
Just wait until you get to the things he said.
Well, again, unless it's like directly inciting like hateful violence towards people.
Like I said, let's wait until
Okay, fine. I'm just to talk first, like just to play devil's advocate on both sides of the fence with that. One, Twitter, Instagram, it's their platform. They can take in and kick off whoever the fuck they want. It's not a right. No. I get it. But secondly, it does kind of feel like it's starting to be like a little 1984 a little bit. Like, you know, I'm completely pro-vaccination. And yet I still feel like you're not saying what we want you to say. We're kicking you off the platform is a little bit.
It's not that you're not saying what we want you to say. It's you're saying the things that you probably shouldn't say.
But again, that's
I tell you
very like you see where that's
but it's
going?
a private platform.
Yeah, no, again,
it's a private platform.
They can kick off whoever the fuck they want. But
if you want to hang out at my ice cream store where everyone's happy and you want to be miserable, I'm going to kick you out. Go, this ice cream store is a happy place.
No, I get that. I get that. I do. It's the whole movement towards. Again, so let me bring it back even further. It's further dividing countries. The populations of countries.
Some people are getting their information from a completely different platform from somebody else.
It's dividing the countries even further and strengthening our echo chambers. Okay, the people who do not believe what we believe, we're instead of talking to them, listening to them, trying to have healthy conversations with them, we are pretending they don't exist. Okay, we're shutting them out. We're pushing them over there. They still exist. They still say these things, think these things, but we're just sticking our fingers in their ears and go la 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 la.
But the problem is that the way the algorithms work, things that shock people and make them angry just fly. It's part of the reason why stuff is spread.
I fucking hate it so
much. It's not, you know. But also, there was a really funny thing on Reddit. Somebody said that they hacked. They didn't hack. They set up their parents who were boomers their smart TV for them.
Okay.
But they did a child lock on Fox News and all the kind of right-wing media channels.
That's hilarious.
So their parents were like, I can't get Fox News. They were like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe we'll have to take the TV back.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's
anyway,
so fucking funny.
Chris Sky. So he is the son of, he's the vice president and also son of the owner of Sky Homes Corp, which they look like muck mansions.
Let me
see those homes.
All right.
They look like
they're
just big.
Just cookie cutter fucking mansions. They're just, yep.
Yeah. So, you know. So he's a rich kid, essentially.
Right.
His father is incredibly successful, and he's listed as he's listed as a vice president. But the company stated he's not responsible for the day-to-day operations of the company, and his opinions, comment, and actions are not condoned by the corporation. So they kind of distance themselves from him, from their own vice president. So I went on his website. And I found out how he describes himself.
All right.
Stop looking at my notes. Sorry, I forgot my laptop.
It's upside down. And,
I know.
I'm staring because I need some place to stare other than your dark, soulless eyes.
This is from his website. Chris Sky is a motivational speaker and the world's most prolific human rights advocate. His vast knowledge and articulate delivery are second to none when it comes to examining and presenting the facts to find the truth. That's from his website.
Oh, God.
Like I said, he did have a quarter of a million followers and he was shut down by Instagram. But so antihate.ca did a lot of research on his online posts.
Okay.
Because he is a public persona. And they found that he regularly refers to BLM activists as subhumans.
Oh, wow.
And called it a government-sponsored intelligence operation. He made comments saying that black people have the lowest IQ score of all the races. God. He said things about LGBTQ plus people, and that basically trying to link LGBTQ plus LGBTQ plus community.
I love you guys, but your name is a freaking mouthful and you know it.
I'm dyslexic as well, so
right.
It's really something catchier, please. And he basically tried to...
For Reese.
Something catchier. For the dyslexic people. And he repeatedly accused that community of attempts to normalize pedophilia, which is...
Hold on, what? He did what?
He tried to claim that LGBTQ2 plus people were trying to normalize pedophilia, which is like a really old-fashioned thing where they're like, people are like, oh, if you're gay, then they try and link it with that.
How is that an old-fashioned
as an old-fashioned slur that people still cling on to. And he tried to blame, he basically blames Muslims for lots of things, horrible stuff, calls them criminals. This is a quote from him. "I get banned for saying Muslims and child rape go together like burgers and fries." That's the kind of thing he says.
It's amazing how powerful fear is. It's amazing because like this is all born. I'm assuming this is all born from fear, right? Like fear of the unknown, fear of like xenophobia sort of thing. And you don't want to be alone with your fears, so you turn your fear to anger, and then you try to get other people to join you in that anger.
Yeah,
and it's like this is where
And he also he was complaining about the fact there was a women's only gym that catered to specifically Muslims. And I think, that goes about privacy and, kind of how
that's actually really neat.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to kind of wear traditional dress when you're trying to work out around other people. So,
Again, and you're, to go back to your Twitter point or Instagram point, these are privately owned businesses and people are talking about it as if they're a right that's being taken away from them. I can't go to this gym because it's a female-only Muslim gym, so my rights are being...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, fuck you, no.
Why can't I come in and work out? Because nobody wants you there. And also, you wouldn't want to go there anyway because of who you are. You just want to because you're being excluded from it. It's ridiculous. Anyway, and he said, "I'm going to open a gym called..."
There's actually, I want to bring up an interest, since we're talking about private corporations being able to do what they want and not a right. There is like, at what point does that cross a line? Such as the story in the past of the bakery who would not sell a wedding cake to a gay couple, right? And that became like national sort of news, and the government got involved, and good on them for getting involved and trying to make that a thing. But like, again, at what point do we say, well, Twitter and Instagram can have whatever they want on their planet, on their platform, because they're a private corporation?
Yeah,
and at what point do we say, oh, I'm glad the government stepped in and made that change for them because we don't like what they did? That's and what they did was wrong. I'm not saying it was right or wrong. I'm saying at what point do we say a corporation should be allowed or shouldn't be allowed to do something? Is there a line? Is it a giant gray area at all times?
I mean, you can go back to the 60s and segregation in restaurants.
Right. Again, very wrong, right?
But it had to be enforced by the government. Mm-hmm. But,
No, but my question is, at what point are we okay? Like, is it, do you see where I'm going with this? Like, it's,
I guess is discrimination against the idea.
I'm not for discrimination. I'm not for hate. But like, these are my values.
Why can't gay people have cakes, Jesse?
Don't point this at me like I came up with the. No, I'm saying, I'm all for equality. I'm against hate. I'm against hate speech. I'm against violence. And if a corporation like Instagram, like Twitter, aligns with my values of kicking someone off their platform because they're anti my values, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
And then I go around saying, well, it's a corporation. They could do what they like. You don't want to use their platform. You don't have to. But then you have a bakery who says, fuck you, I'm not selling you a cake because you're a gay couple. And I'll get up and like, oh, well, the government now needs to intervene with that company and tell that company what to do because that company is against my values.
I don't know the details.
Which is everyone should sell.
I don't know the details of that cake.
Well, okay. Yeah, it was a number of years ago. But do you see where I'm going with this?
But I thought it was just a civil lawsuit. I didn't think it was a legal.
Oh, it might have been. I don't know if the government got involved. Yeah, they might not have actually.
But I mean, to be honest, like, it's just bad publicity. What you're going to find is if a business draws a line in the sand like that, then you're going to have, like, there was a restaurant here in Halifax that was anti-vax during the lockdown.
Oh yes, I know.
And they've gone out of business because
have they gone out of business?
They've gone out of business.
That makes me so happy.
But because they were being aggressive and horrible to a lot of people and saying mean things, but they drew a line in the sand. They were like, we are anti-vax and we're going to stay open and we won't have any restrictions and we won't follow any of the rules. And then the public chose to not go there anymore.
Right.
So much like that cake, that place, they had loads of publicity around it. So certain percentage of the population would go out their way to support them because they agree with them.
Whereas I suppose it becomes more of like a free market sort of answer where like the public will vote with their dollars.
You vote with their dollars. So
the only problem with, I guess, Instagram and Twitter is you don't pay to use these platforms. It's free for everybody.
Well, no. If you go onto a social media site or a website and the service is free, you are the product. Your data is the product.
No, of course. So, yeah.
So he said he was going to open the SWM Fitness Gym, which was straight white male, and he joked,
Jesus Christ.
He joked, only men of Euro origin with DNA samples to prove they haven't been tainted in the last 5 generations.
What the fuck?
I know. So,
oh my God. Oh my God. And I'm guessing he's against vaccine passports.
Yes. Yes. So him and his wife were charged under the Quarantine Act on October the 6th.
Hold on, what are these? What's it kind of like? Oh my God, sorry. I'm just like...
Sorry, that was a bombshell.
That was crazy. Oh my God. Okay, all right.
So him and his wife were charged under the Quarantine Act on October the 6th, 2020 in Ontario.
The Quarantine Act?
Yeah, you know,
I'm not
about following restrictions under the current quarantine.
I'm not. Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so hold on. Wait, what? So I'm not familiar with the Quarantine Act.
So they went to an anti-mask event in Ireland.
In Ireland?
I don't know the quarantine. It's just a law that means you have to follow quarantine.
Oh, okay.
So
I guess,
they went to an anti-mask event in Ireland. And then,
Ireland?
Yeah. And then they was on September the 20th, and then they were spotted at a Toronto anti-mask event the following week, meaning they didn't self-isolate.
Fucking hell.
And they were the first in Toronto to be criminally charged under the Quarantine Act.
I've said this before. I'm going to say it again about the whole anti-mask thing. Okay. And conspiracy theorists who do now and then get something right. And that's a huge problem with conspiracy theorists. It's just planting an extra...
I think there are bigger problems with conspiracy theorists than sometimes they're right.
No, because that fuels their fire. Right? It makes people say, aha, see, they were right about something. And so everything else they say also must be right. Yes, it is that is not the biggest problem, Reese. You are... Oh, my God.
Maybe all the misinformation and lies.
But what I was going to say about anti-maskers is, like, I don't know where you're getting information from about masks don't work or vaccines don't work.
Just memes.
Like memes. Okay. Yeah, right. But like
research memes.
The whole point seems to be, and I could be wrong, the whole point seems to be about making themselves come across as correct. I am right. You are wrong. Let me show you why you're wrong and why I'm right. Right? And about personal freedoms, fuck off.
Why won't the world see how right I am?
Right?
That kind of stuff.
So, okay, hypothetically speaking, let's say wearing a mask does nothing. Let's just say, hypothetically, okay, that with this whole time, it was a lie, okay, for whatever fucking reason, blah, blah, blah.
Big mask.
Ooh, yeah, right, exactly. Let's just say that. What, we've been like slightly fucking inconvenienced when walking into a store for 2 minutes? That's what... the detriment, that's my punishment for the past 2 years, really?
Yeah.
The whole point of wearing a mask is we're trying something. Yeah. It's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about, Jesus Christ, there's a fucking pandemic. Let's try shit. You know, at the end of 2 years, if someone's like proved indubitably that masks were wrong and didn't work at all, I'd be like, well, egg on my face. At least I tried something. I tried. Yeah. What did you do other than try to prove that you're right? You know, what are you doing to try to help people?
Yeah. What if you were right, but what if you're wrong?
Exactly.
And you've accidentally killed all your loved ones by infecting them with your deadly breath. He tried to travel to the Maritimes in October for one of the stupid rallies on Citadel Hill.
I didn't really get that. That was kind of weird. They just it wasn't really a rally as much as just people just sitting watching the fucking sunset. Like, it was just
well, everyone took photos of them from a distance, going, "Ah, you wankers." So he tried to go there, but he caused a disturbance on a flight and was escorted out. He
caused a disturb. Hold on,
go back to that. I don't think he wanted to wear. I couldn't find details. I don't think he wanted to wear a mask on a plane, and they had to escort him off the plane.
That's when you knock him the fuck out and put a mask on him.
So now he's on the passenger protection list for Flair Airlines. And Flair Airlines declined to allow him on a flight to an event in Alberta. He was arrested by the Thunder Bay police in April 18th.
He's probably loving this attention.
I know. And so what happened was he was arrested because he was they were doing some kind of protest or organized gathering that was illegal. So him and his followers then went to the Breakfast Pig, which is a restaurant in Thunder Bay.
What a fantastic fucking name.
And demanded free food.
What? Why?
And the small business owner...
For what? What?
Just because of who they were. Like, we need free food. And
because of what?
Because they're like freedom fighters. You know, like if when William Wallace in Braveheart was going through the village, people would offer him hot meals because they're like,
is that true? Or
I don't know. Braveheart's not real. There's so much wrong with Braveheart.
I think William Wallace was real.
No, he was, but the film Braveheart is massively twisted history.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he definitely wasn't Australian. So, but the but I think they thought they were like a merry band of freedom fighters roaming through the forest. Dear Squire, your pot of stew looks delicious. May we dine with you, for we have travelled through the mountains. Our merry band of freedom fighters need sustenance.
Instructing the people of old to remove the thin pieces of fabric from in front of their noses and mouths for...
Who else will fight the tyranny of King Trudeau? So anyway, they said no.
The evil baby balancer.
They said no, and then... So what he did was he got them all to leave awful reviews about the small business.
Oh, wow, what a giant asshat.
He told another anti-mask advocate that he wanted to shoot and kill Doug Ford and every premier in Canada. It was reported to the police. A police constable attended his residence to arrest him based on these threats. Chris Guy entered a car, drove towards the police officer, and then fled. He later turned himself into the police station, was charged with uttering death threats, assaulting a police officer, and dangerous operation of a vehicle. He sounds really, balanced.
Yeah. This is all an ad for Will Buchan.
Yeah. But he did, in October 2021, he did organize a rally that October this year, he organised a rally in London.
How long is it? So
in London, Ontario.
Was he sent to jail? Or?
I think he's had loads of fines and stuff going on. Okay. But I mean, he's rich, so
he doesn't care.
Crime doesn't matter if you've got money.
Right.
He actually.
Wow, that's sad. And wow, that's really true and very sad.
Yeah, he organised a rally in London, Ontario this October, which got 1,000 people. And a lot of the local businesses said they felt intimidated by anti-mask and anti-vaccine protesters. What happens is they'll turn up at small businesses and want to come in en masse without masks on and things.
Right.
And boast about but not being vaccinated. So, and then, I'm going to play you a clip of him. And I don't know if fame has gone to his head, but this is him. So he was in Nanaimo in BC, and he turned up to
Nanaimo, like the bar, Nanaimo bar.
I guessed I put the two and two together, but I couldn't say the first one or the second one. So
have you ever had a Nanaimo bar?
I have, yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay,
yeah.
They're okay.
Tastes like fun.
Tastes like fun.
Yeah. So he turned up 2 hours late for his own event. And then there was like music, but they tried to make it seem like a bit of a festival atmosphere. And he turned up late. And I think what happened is he turned up late.
Yeah.
And they didn't let him go on the microphone immediately. They wanted the band to finish performing. That I think, were passing the time.
Okay.
And he wasn't happy about that. So this is the clip.
Now they play more music. How about that? We're fucking up. They literally just said they're playing more music. No, they're gonna shut it off.
The last song they just said, yeah.
No, they're gonna stop as soon as you walk up.
I'm gonna fucking lose it.
That's him shouting.
This is the kind of shit that is fucking going on right now, isn't it?
I hope you're fucking ready.
Wow. So you can hear him swearing.
Oh, this is gonna be a good one.
So he's just running now into the bandstand and he's grabbing the microphone, I believe.
There are children here.
No masks, no distancing. And now he's about to take the microphone.
Yeah, he's just walking up on stage and grabbing the mic.
Okay, that's it. I had about fucking nothing.
I've had it. Wow.
I was gonna come to give a really nice speech, and then I show up here and I realize, honest, you guys, they say when you have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Well, I got nothing nice to say, but I got a whole lot to say anyway. I don't know what the fuck you people think this is. This is a war against your fucking children. They are coming to inject them with a poison. They are taking your jobs. They're taking your houses. And how do you respond? You spend 1 or 2 hours a week freedom fighting by coming and listening to a fucking band play?
Just smashed the sunglasses on the floor.
Me? Are you guys kidding me? This is what it means to freedom fight for you. To come and listen to a stupid band and sing and dance.
He's amazing.
The organizers are more worried about getting you on a fucking march than getting you to actually do something for yourself. Fucking pathetic. Each and every one of you should be absolutely ashamed of yourselves. You're walking around like this is a party, like this is a joke, like you're supposed to be here having fun.
Right.
So let me get this straight.
What a lovely man.
He organized this event, right?
Yeah.
He organized the band,
I
the
imagine
stage,
so.
and he hired the band, and he got them to play. And then when people showed up to enjoy the event that he organized for people, he then shunned and shamed the people for enjoying the event. He
And
created.
waiting ages for him to turn up.
He's insane. Oh my God.
My favorite part was when he smashed his sunglasses on the floor in a dramatic gesture, was dancing around, swearing at children, everyone's children, just swearing at the children, calling them motherfuckers and all this kind of stuff. And then an old dog walks past behind him just to really...
Wow. Wow.
Just to really, yeah. And most recently, since then, this happened 3 days ago. You know, the West Edmonton Mall, the world's largest mall.
I do.
Him and his wife were walking through there without a mask to buy knee-length socks for his wife, Jessica. And were arrested and pinned to the ground. And I got a lovely picture of him and his wife being pinned to the ground.
Oh my God. By 4 fucking security guards.
Face planted.
And then one on his wife. I'm assuming that's his wife.
And now he's started a campaign called Justice for Jenny. But again, I'd like to go back to, after watching that video, I'd like to go back to Chris Sky is a motivational speaker and the world's most prolific human rights advocate. His vast knowledge and articulate delivery is second to none when it comes to examining and presenting facts to find the truth.
That's insane. I have an idea. It's kind of been, so just as an aside, violence in general has, as of the past, like, I'm going to say 15 years, escalated to like a horrifying degree. When we hear of violence happening to someone, it usually has to do with like assault weapons, mass shootings, like just large, things of that nature. Whenever we hear violence happening towards someone, it's something horrific. But it's either that or nothing.
Yeah.
I want to bring back fisticuffs. Just a good old fashioned,
duel.
Just one old, not a, I mean, a duel is also deadly. That's like, it's a duel to the death, but like,
exactly.
Bring back fisticuffs, just a straight up, simple punch to the nose. And that's it. Just leave it as a punch to the nose. And if they attack you again, punch to the nose. Just don't bring out assault weapons or knives or try to kill people. But just when someone's spouting shit like that, just go up and just pop. Just to the nose, you know.
Or just get your geriatric dog to walk behind them slowly to invalidate their point. Yeah, and I found a picture of him. He looks like an Adam Sandler character.
Holy fuck, he does too. He looks like
if Adam Sandler had a
bucket of Coke.
Adam Sandler doing a coked up kind of rich kid character in one of his movies.
Is that a neck beard or a tattoo of a neck beard?
It's a neck beard tattoo, I think. So yeah, he looks like someone.
It is a tattoo, but it looks like a giant fucking neck beard.
he looks like somebody melted a Ken doll.
Oh wow! Oh my God!
I mean, going to making fun of people's appearances is usually
really
the least,
fun.
But it's also usually the least intelligent form. But as someone who obviously was worked hard on that,
what is he wearing there? Is that a bikini?
It looks like he's wearing a mankini. But anyway, I mean, when you've got that much money, you can look everyone will tell you
he's jacked.
Wonderful.
I'll give him that.
I
He's fucking
I wouldn't
jacked.
want to get punched in the face.
I wouldn't advocate punching this man in the nose just because I now understand why it took 4 security guards in the West Edmonton Mall to bring him down.
So anyway, so that is Canada's #1 anti-vax influencer.
Wow.
Did you have fun?
I always have fun when you teach me shit, Reese. It's my only source of education these days.
But he's been on Alex Jones. He's big.
Oh, don't compare him to Alex Jones.
No, he's been on the Alex Jones show.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
He's kind of like he's the Canadian spokesperson for a lot of those like kind of far right media outlets.
I saw Alex Jones was on. Who's the biggest podcaster in the world?
Joe Rogan.
He was on Joe Rogan. I watched the show.
I find Joe Rogan problematic now. I wasn't paying much attention to it, but the kind of people he hangs out with.
Well, see, that's See, you of all people, I thought would like Joe Rogan because I feel like you have similar values in that. No, hold on, I'm being serious here.
I don't hang out with Nazis.
No, hold on. You have a way of reacting and treating people who think and act differently than you in the fact that you listen to them and you befriend them without like pointing fingers and yelling at them and telling them they're wrong and fuck you and all that shit. You've done it. You've actually like turned commenters who've sent angry emails and angry comments. You've turned them around where they'd be like, wow, you're actually way too polite to be mad at.
But I would never give them a platform.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of are. We've got a podcast and we just talked about half an hour about this guy.
But I didn't give him a platform.
No, but I guess what I'm saying is Joe Rogan has everybody on his show from both sides. He doesn't divide. He listens, which is something we don't have enough of, right? No matter how much he might disagree.
But he also. But
here's where I was going with this when I was listening to Alex Jones. He actually disagreed with like almost everything Alex said vehemently on his show, but he did end it with saying like, I remember you got something right once. Like he said something along those lines to Alex, like, oh, because he's friends with him, but he knows how fucking crazy he is. He's like, that one thing, that one time, you got that right, Alex. That one thing, that one time was actually turned out to be correct. How about that? Just like,
Alex Jones said that there was alien DNA in the vaccines.
Oh, fucking hell. Like...
So yeah, anyway. Cool.
I think there's got to be a middle ground. While you're right, it's probably problematic giving a platform for these people. At the same time, it is hugely problematic sticking our fingers in the ears and pretending they don't exist, and further dividing our country of you think this way, I think this way. Don't talk to me. Like to the point where we want to know how people think so that we can categorize them and know how to treat them before even meeting them or talking to them. And it's just a massive
It always sounds like a lot of hard work.
Am I being too serious for our show?
I don't know. I'm just in the middle of season 2 of Ted Lasso. It seems like a big distraction. So
I fucking love Ted Lasso so much. It's such a good show, man. Anyway. Oh my god.
Wafuckak is coming.
Wafuckak is coming. Are you excited? Day 1. So the night before Wafuckak, do you remember what you have to do?
No, I can't remember any of it.
You go to
I made it up. You'd ask me stuff and I'd make it up on the spot.
Well, no, it is a long Welsh tradition, a long Wafuckak Welsh tradition.
Please tell me about the tradition that
you've clearly forgotten about.
Yeah.
You take your family to a nearby farm and you dig up potatoes and you stuff them in a whole bunch of sacks.
Oh, yeah.
And then when the sun rises on day 1 of Wafuckak, you climb onto your roof with your family and you throw sacks of potatoes at people. Not individual potatoes, entire sacks filled with potatoes.
It's all coming back to me now.
There you go.
I remember this from my childhood.
Yep. So there you go. That's
potato sacking.
Potato sacking.
So we will see you December the 1st.
Yep.
Those of you who aren't patrons will get the first episode. That is a promise.
And every few days you'll get another free episode. And if you want to join us for the full month of Wafuckak, please join us on Patreon. And just search
Patreon.com/Canadian Politics is boring. That's the
call. If you just search our name,
that's
on
the
Patreon,
call to action.
That's the call to action.
Yeah,
become a Patreon, and we'll shower you with love. And and there'll be a live feed sometime in December, regardless of what Reese thinks of this. This is going to happen.
Let me check my schedule. All right, we'll see you soon. It's been a long episode.
It's been a long episode. That was really fun. All right. Happy Wafuckak, everybody.
Merry Wafuckak.
I think it's wonderful Wafuckak.
Wonderful Wafuckak.
Wonderful Wafuckak.
See,
Reese.
it's all coming back to me.
Yeah. There you go.
Welcome to Canadian Politics is Boring.